Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Content Mix. I'm Carlota Pico, and I'm happy to be here today with Caridad González, who is International Social Media Manager at Wall Street English and has over 12 years of experience in marketing and communications. Welcome, Caridad, and thank you so much for joining us today on the Content Mix.
Hi, Carlota. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and talk about social media and content.
I'm very excited. Let's jump straight into the interview. So, Caridad, can you tell me a little bit about your background and also a bit about Wall Street English?
Okay, well, related to my background, I have a degree in information science, but I specialize myself in advertising and public relationships. And I wanted to work in every kind of area of this beautiful environment that it's called, communication, advertising, marketing. So I try to have a little bit of experience of everything. But I guess that's what really got my attention was creativity. So I worked as a copywriter for a long time. I really loved, creating concepts and trying to communicate ideas in different ways. So that is my strongest background. But then I evolved from that, and then I was involved in roles related to marketing itself and also to content production, content management as well. And then social media came across in 2008 or something like that. And I was really, really interested about this very new thing called Facebook, for example. And what I really liked is that you could finally measure things in a way that was very interesting. So you no longer had like a very nice ad. You also had a reply or a comment or a like, and then some data behind. So that is why I really, really went crazy about social media, because I finally could, have all these three things together: communication, creativity, and data.
Okay, very interesting. And so what about Wall Street English?
Yeah, so I worked in agencies basically my whole professional experience, and then watching this came across 3 years ago almost, and I think that I was very interested about education as an industry, because I worked in every kind of industry you can imagine, and then I thought that English has given me a lot of opportunities in my career. So what about working for a company that does that? Because Washington is a world-class company in the English language teaching industry, and it teaches adults all over the world in more than 29 countries. So I guess, as I said, I think this sounds interesting. And I joined them 2 years ago, as I said, and as a global social media manager or international social media manager with, let's say, 3 dimensions in my role. One would be I'm in charge of the global social media presence of the company. I also support our countries. We're developing the social media strategies in every market. And then I also help the business development team to, gain franchisees, because Washington is a franchising environment and a franchising business. So I also help them to get new clients that are part of the Washington brand and company all over the world. So I have I don't get bored at all.
Yeah, definitely. Very exciting.
Very exciting, yeah.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about the skills that are required to do your role, but more than skills, I want to focus on qualities. In many cases, skills can be acquired, right? You can be taught a skill, but you can't really be taught a quality. So let's say you're promoted tomorrow and you're tasked with the responsibility of hiring for your current role. What qualities would you watch out for more than skills?
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting question also because, skills versus qualities, I think they have to work together. And I think that there are 3 things that I value a lot. One is to be a good listener. And when I say good listener, is somebody that when you're explaining something, an idea or a brief or a task, is really, really concentrated on that. And it's just basically dedicating 100% to trying to understand that, whatever is needed, right? Another thing I value is to be professional. And when I say professional, I mean somebody that has like values and ethics and knows what it is that needs to be done in the best way possible, right? I'm not talking about a workaholic. That's not what I mean. I'm just, trying to connect with somebody professionally that knows what is it that needs to happen and when, and what is it that, it's good or bad. And if it's bad, don't do it. And I guess that another quality that is very, very important and also nowadays is being, flexible. But not the kind of flexibility every company is talking about when they say, okay, flexibility means that you're going to work for 20 hours a day. No, I'm talking about trying to switch from A to B very fast because the market or the business or your colleagues are needing that. And I guess that in the current situation, we've learned that this is very, very important. So I would say those three qualities.
I loved your response. Okay, very nice. So obviously let's talk about COVID-19 because you've already touched upon it and everybody is facing different hardships when it comes to COVID-19. According to the CEO of Walt Disney, the heart and soul of a company is creativity and innovation. So, Caridad, in light of the global pandemic, in what ways has Wall Street English been innovative or creative this year?
Wow. I mean, I'm going to use a term that I learned not so long ago, which is, this 3, 4 months, 5 months, I've been a Corona coaster. Stop doing it like and yeah, I guess that it's been very challenging, like in many, many dimensions. And for us, as I said before, we have like 3 main dimensions. One is B2C, B2B, and also like internally, because we are like a people business. We teach people in the centers, and we are used to have like a great in-center experience. So we were losing that fact, right? And our centers were closing, and it was a disaster. But at the same time, that gave us an opportunity to develop something which was basically trying to be better online. And we did that very fast, and we put our best from ourselves and our thinking, isolating ourselves with what was happening to focus on that was, we need to give our students what they need. And that was a goal, trying to give that service and trying to be approachable and, be for them, because this is what we do physically. So we needed to take that online and bring a good experience to them. And I guess that's for me, creativity comes across in this very, very intense moment. Sometimes it's because you don't have budget, sometimes because you don't have time. And in that case, it was because we were losing our main source of, credibility, or, our experience was a risk. So that made us very, very creative, very fast. And that was amazing.
Yeah. So could you talk to me about how you implemented some of that creativity into your online experience? What did that look like? What did the end product look like?
Well, the end product was basically trying to say, okay, so what we do in person, how do we bring it online seamlessly? And that took a lot of people involved, from sales and from project managers, marketing. So we weren't very, very creative in the sense we don't want to reinvent the wheel to communicate something very simple. But what we did was just saying, look, you need to trust us the same as you did before, because we're offering you the same, but in a context and in a way that suits you, because you're at home. So we're going to go home in a sense and be online for you, and trying to bring that experience to life in this weird environment. So I guess that made us more creative. And usually for a process like this, maybe a company would take like 6 months or 1 year. We did this very fast. So I guess that creativity is not about having a concept that breaks the internet all the time. Creativity is making decisions that have a result within some parameters. Like, for example, you can solve an equation and it has one solution. But if you have different approaches to that, then you might have different solutions for the same thing, right? I guess we wanted to have the best solution within that amount of time with the people that we had working, right? So I guess that was, for me, creative at its core.
Very interesting. So speaking of innovation, social media influencer Paul Gillen said the following: transparency may be the most disruptive and far-reaching innovation to come out of social media. As someone who breathes and lives social media every day, what are your thoughts on that, Caridad?
Well, wow, yeah, I think that it's spot on, basically. I really, really agree with that. And I have to say that no, it's not happening to me that often, but when I say I work on social media, everybody thinks I'm the devil because there's some kind of, bad reputation around social media that, for example, my SEO colleagues or digital managers don't get because social media has this weird view about, yeah, it's memes and it's like people doing videos and this and that. But I guess that there's more to that. And we're seeing that if you're a company and you are doing things in the wrong way, somebody's going to let you know. And somebody's going to do that 24/7, any day, and you're going to get it. And you will need to react. So the more transparent you are on what you do on social media and what you do as a company, the better. So I guess that you wouldn't lie to a customer because of, whatever. So you don't have to do that when you are on social media. And I had some cases about companies that were very afraid of being there because they wanted the positive things, but they didn't want the negative ones, right? And I always say, look, this is an opportunity to improve your business because people are telling you that they don't like this and this and this that can be improved. Maybe you didn't have that before when you were just running a TV commercial. So now embrace the opportunity, embrace your negative things, and try to improve them because the same user that is criticizing you one day probably is going to praise you the other one. So I guess that we need to live on transparency when we are doing social media as much as we can.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you just said because I mean, when we're client facing, it's not in best practices to lie to a client in their face, right? So why would we do that when we're hiding behind the screen? We're always talking to humans. So regardless of if we're in front of a human or if we're talking to them through a screen, we should always be honest and transparent in everything that we do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I agree completely with that.
And it's also an opportunity, like you said, for companies to learn about themselves, to learn about how their products are being used by their customers and how their services are being are evaluated by their customers as well. And it's an opportunity to do better. It's always an opportunity to do better. And in my former life, I used to be an entrepreneur. And when I was developing the product that I later launched, one of the key things that I looked at was surveys. I was conducting surveys left and right to see how my potential customers were going to use my product. Social media is exactly that. It gives companies and brands the opportunity to listen to their potential customers or listen to their actual customers and do better.
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it's not like you're going to have a focus group that you have to run, which is quite pricey in a sense. You can do it every day. And
Absolutely.
that's value. But you need to have the right people dedicated to that, to be there, to have like a good strategy, to get some insights, to put them in motion. I guess that it takes a lot of work. It's not only memes and videos as a lot of people think I
Yeah.
do for them.
And it requires a lot of empathy as well. A lot of empathy in the sense of understanding your customers in the way that they want to be understood and not in the way that you think that they are going to consume your content and the way that you think they are going to want to listen to you. So I
Yeah.
think that requires a lot of empathy. Okay, moving into my next question, Caridad. Which social media campaigns have you admired lately and why?
Well, yeah, I have. There's many, but I have three that I really really like. They're very different. I think that the first one would be anything that Oatly does. Do you know Oatly? This oats milk company.
Okay.
They are from I think Sweden or Norway. I don't remember right now. And what I found out, they were communicating the product, which is like this amazing oat milk that they have, and they were very witty. They were very bold, and they said things that I've always had in my mind when it comes to I've been vegetarian for a long time now. It's been like almost 10 years,
Oh, wow.
and guess that when I saw their social media, just connect like this, because they have this claim that it's something like the milk that is made for humans, because like ordinary milk is not for humans any longer after you're not a baby, you just develop and you don't need milk. So they had something that really connected with me, and they were talking about animal rights in a way that wasn't like too political, but that resonated. They have they have amazing copywriting. I don't know, their ads are amazing, and I think that they launched this campaign in 2019. And I think that this is one of the few times when I scroll on Facebook or Instagram and I was just literally clapping, like, yeah, finally has put those words that I've had in my mind for so long, and many people have had in their minds for so long. And, you're just making a beautiful and a campaign that really has a message about something that's simple as milk. Could be soy milk, could be, like vegetarian milk, if I can say milk, because, it's not like that. But I really liked it. And I think for the second, I would choose what National Geographic does. I guess that anything that they do on social media or anywhere is amazing. I'm a nature lover in a sense, and I think that besides that, they have run this U Shots community of photographers, and they choose pictures from all these people that are posting things, and they curate them, and they select I think that they do 12 like a month or a year. I don't remember, but I guess it's like we have many different views about the reality, right? And if somebody takes a picture, this is what basically Instagram does in a sense, gathering all those, artistic or not artistic expressions of people. But this is related to nature and what is happening at the moment. So I guess that I find it very inspiring to have the point of view of people seeing reality in a different way than mine. And that's really, really interesting.
Okay. Speaking of
Yeah.
messaging, let's zoom into Wall Street English and your current role. There's a lot of noise out there on social media as well. Apart from great campaigns, there's also a lot of just blah, blah, blah. So, what are some tactics that you use in your everyday job to attract the right type of attention to your brand?
Yeah, definitely. And now more than ever, because as I said, we have moved into the online scenario. There are many, many players, and it's very easy to say, learn English now, and or speak English with confidence. But how many of those companies have been in the market for 50 years as we have been? And how many of these companies have like a proven method, and they can say that they have taught English to more than 3 million people all over the world, right? From Korea to Chile to France. I guess that is the core of everything we do. And I was just going to say, our best offer is not a discount. It's just that legacy, that history, and that we have a methodology that really, really works. And I guess that making somebody learn English and make that person progress and make that person, get a promotion or change their job that they have and go for something better. I guess that having these people doing that every day with us is the best tactic that we have, because we relied a lot on word of mouth, referrals. People that say, look, I joined Washington English like a year ago and I couldn't say a word, and now I can have a conversation. That is basically what it's speaking. And it's like a bit different from others because we've been there for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other competitors that have a different price. They have a different system, but I guess that, we don't need discounts when we know that what we do makes a difference for our students. So I guess that when it comes to specific tactics, I guess that we try to do very data-oriented marketing now more than ever, that we are shift to digital. Being realistic, every country is very different, and they have people in there have their own ways of talking, speaking, approaching. It's not the same a campaign in Korea than in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. And trying to be smart, like what can we do in a month to have more sales or try to get our students to uh, buy another level and things like that. So we are basically very hands-on marketing. And as I said, transparency, being honest. If I have to run a social ad, I would just say, our brand positioning, our benefits, our USP. We don't need really anything else than that.
Okay, excellent. What tools do you use to monitor your channels?
Cool. Well, one of the main tools that we use is because we have this system in place for most territories. It's HubSpot.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard of this marketing CRM system, and we use HubSpot across many territories at the moment, and I really like it for two reasons. One is because it's very good for paid social. When you run a campaign, you can track what happens from the very beginning of the ad until what does it mean in terms of contracts or conversions, and you can see like the whole funnel. You have the whole funnel view. You can optimize your campaigns accordingly, and then it has like a very, very interesting social media feature to post your content. And you can schedule your content, and you can see all the metrics that are like conversion related in the same place. You can have your monitoring tool, which is going to monitor activities more specifically on Twitter, but you can monitor your competitors, what they're doing on social media, and then you can just have everything in one place. I mean, in the past, I was very familiar and I was using things like Hootsuite or Social Bakers or Digimind or Websets. Now I'm very lucky because I can do most of all the things that these tools were doing in the same place. And my same. So very recommended.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Caridad. Well, we are coming towards the end of the interview. I do want to finish up with a project that you've led or a campaign that you've led that you're particularly proud of, its purpose, and what made it so special. And this will be the last question before we move into a rapid fire set of questions.
Okay, well, that is could be a very extensive question. I guess that one of the campaigns I'm most proud about, being collaborating there was a campaign from some years ago when I used to work for Kellogg's, and I used to work for Kellogg's Special K.
Oh.
And they started a campaign called Time for Change. And besides their ordinary campaigns about cereals, they did this, and they were just gathering like more than 23 nonprofit organizations, and they were trying to have influencers and celebrities, but also people, normal people, let's say, to collaborate to empower women in different countries. So they had I think that 18 countries, and they were doing different things with different local projects, trying to help them, in UK were homeless women, and then in Peru, for example, were things like trying to help with women with their studies and stuff. So I really liked being the representation of that in Spain, not as a celebrity, but just working in the background and trying to distribute this amazing campaign that, I think that now these kind of campaigns are more common, because we'll have more of a mindset when we think about social stuff globally. But I really like the fact that many people were working towards the same kind of goal from a global perspective, but then putting things into action locally. So I really liked being, and there are many others. I could be there, talking for years and years, but I guess that if I had to stay with one, I would just mention this Chime for Change from Special K.
Okay, well, I love Special K. It's my cereal of choice. So thank you for zooming into that campaign.
I think it will be interesting to know that I was involved in the project of, bringing Kellogg's Special K into social media, which has opened the community, I guess, in 2011. And, I was part of that from the beginning. And I'm very proud of what we did in those 3 years that I was involved in the project with Special K.
Well, congratulations on that accomplishment, Caridad. Okay, moving into our set of rapid fire questions. Who is your source of inspiration? So, an influencer or professional role model that you really admire?
Well, I mean, I would like to, yeah, to mention somebody that I met very recently in an event that is called Mental Lab Barcelona, which I attended as a speaker. And his name is Jake Stainer, and he is basically dedicated to growth, to growth marketing and and SaaS. But I've attended a couple of events where he was there, and he was very, very inspiring. He has an interesting way of thinking. I would recommend that anybody that is interested, sorry, in marketing should take a look at what he does on LinkedIn. He's always doing like video conferences and events and talking to interesting people. And I guess that having like a technical point of view of the world is very interesting if you're working in marketing. So I would just say that now he's the person that I follow the most. And I'm very excited when he says, "I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that." Yeah, I'm always taking a look.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent, Caridad. Thank you. And the last question of today's interview will be, what's your favorite app at the moment?
Well, I've got two favorite apps at the moment. One is an app that is called Insight Timer, and it is a meditation app. I know there is like now everybody wants to meditate. There's a lot of stuff around that, but I would recommend this because it has saved my life literally, especially during this I don't even know how many months, whatever, this months from the past when we had the COVID coming. And you can find anything that you need to soothe yourself, to put you to sleep, to relax, and it's always very nice to have that kind of support. And then I would say that I like an app that is called Yuka, which is an app that you take with you to the supermarket and you scan the products, and that app tells you how healthy they are. If they have like many chemicals or if they have like ingredients that aren't good for your health, then you will know. I had to say that when I use the app, I tend to buy less stuff, or I tend to buy things that are better because I really trust the approach of this independent team that is behind this Yuka app. It's very interesting to know what is it that we are buying.
Mhm.
It is important, so I really like this app.
Okay, excellent. So it allows you to save money and at the same time feed yourself with healthy food. Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's
I
like a
can't ask
super
for more.
one.
Yeah,
Okay, Caridad, those were great insights. Thank you so much for joining us on the Content Mix. It was awesome to meet you and to pick your brain on so many different subjects.
thank you so much. I had a great time with you. It's been, this minutes just fly. So, I guess that it's very interesting to have these conversations. And if you ever want to know anything about me, just let me know. I'll be here.
Okay, thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you very much, Caridad. And to everybody
Okay.
listening in today, thank you for joining us on the Content Mix. For more perspectives on the content marketing industry in Europe, check out the Content Mix. We'll be releasing interviews just like this one every week, so keep on tuning in. Thanks again. Have a fabulous day and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.